Hi, how y'all doing? It is Tuesday, the 2nd of July, 2024. Here in Ontario, Canada, the sky was blue with some clouds in the rising, and then as the day progressed, they whited it out. There's a little bit of a wind, but not too much. The temperature was 24, but I felt it was cool, right? It just doesn't feel like the normal 24. It's because all the humidity's gone. I talked about that in a video before, so yeah, not too bad. Very different energy day today. I had dreams again last night. The only thing that came back to me in the horizon was I was talking to some man, and there was a set of 4 cast iron frying pans on the wall, right? And there were smaller sizes. I have a big one, and these were smaller. And like the last place I lived with somebody, they stole a lot of my stuff, and one was my smaller cast iron frying pan, right? And I was like, that's the one I need right there. I need those. I'll take those two, kind of thing. That's all I remember of my dream. So different. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Other than that, I find the energy very quiet today inside. I wasn't interested in watching YouTube very much at all today, so I just listened to meditation music most of the day. I laid down several times just because my body has icky sensation in it, right? My spine's not feeling that great. So, yeah, and a lot of pressure in my third eye. A lot. Feels like a headache, but it's not quite there, you know what I mean? So, something's happening. Working on my chakra, my third eye. My third eye's been open all my life. That's what makes me different than other people. That's why people call me a witch or crazy, right? That's what that massage therapist said to me yesterday too, right? When I was telling her I'm different, you know. I have a very high IQ. So it's like a child psychologist told my mother when I was, 12 years old, that I wouldn't stay with the education system because it wasn't smart enough for me. I taught too slow, and I learned really quick, right? So, and they were right about that. I didn't get the indoctrination education. That's why I see things different than most people. And she goes, yeah, the only problem with that is people call you crazy. And I said, I'm used to it. People have been calling me crazy my whole life. I said, I don't care what people think. Nobody's worse than me, and nobody's better than me. Right? Why should I care? She was a little bit taken back by that. She didn't know how to receive it. But she was young, you know what I mean? And she's indoctrinated, I could tell. So yeah, very strange energy today. Nobody's been very talkative at all. I went to the grocery store earlier. One of the cashier ladies who mans the do-it-yourself friggin' things, right? She was just staring at me the whole time. I was like, is she thinking I'm a thief or something? You know? She doesn't know me very well. I was like, come on, say something to me. Want to check my bag? But then as I walked past, she said, thank you. And I went, yep. I don't like being glared at, right? I don't. Or maybe she saw my light and it annoyed her. I'm not sure, right? I wasn't putting too much thought into it. I was just getting what I had to get home because, like I said, my back, my spine, it has icky sensations today. Not the best. I'm not very comfortable, right? So yeah, I've seen a thing in Canada here. Trudeau, one of his billionaire friends that supports the Liberal Party, and it's one of his buddies. He got charged for being a child rapist. right? Which is nice to see. So they'll link that to the character playing him. Well, not the character, but the Turtle person. And yeah, he'll be coming down soon. He'll be being tossed out. It's funny. All the people on the news, every news is pretty much wearing a mask. And not who you think they are. That's why the narrative's changing, even in the States, right? About Mr. T. Now to be like talking to each other. How come we didn't know about Mr. Biden, right? That he was this bad and everything like that. And it's because they covered it up, right? But now they're trying to find somebody to blame. So yeah, just remember not to feel sorry for anybody. None of these actors, music stars, sports stars, people in power, famous people, right? Because they all brought it upon themselves, and that's what they'll be going for. Remember I told you that? They'll be wanting us all to feel sorry for me, right? Don't fall into that trap. So yeah, so this is the takedown of Mr. T and Mr. B. And the next part of this charade, the movie, is a pusher real big for the WW3, right? With Russia, eh? And China's involved. And Vietnam, North Vietnam, right? So I imagine they're going to a FF, a false flappy thing in the wind, right? To make everybody think something really went down. And because they're good with all this old footage and shit. Just like I watched a tarot card reader, and she said that the card said that the debate that happened there a couple days ago was pre-recorded. There was no audience. It was all pre-recorded. It said back in February or whatever, right? So it just goes to show you how much of a script it is for this movie. Or else, like, they wouldn't have known shit that went down with Mr. T by then, if it wasn't. So, yeah, it just proves it more and more. So, just it's moving too slow for me still. I was feeling lonely earlier today. I was. This is supposed to be a time when we're supposed to be meeting our like-minded people. Yeah. I guess that's for the other people in the realm. It's just the way it is, I guess. If anything changes, I'll let you know. But, yeah. That is what it is. You'd think I'd used to be being alone by now. It's been this way most of my life. But I always have hope. It just gets hard sometimes to keep on hoping. Alright? But there is no quitting. There's no falling down and fucking up. That's just not in my books. Alright? Every time you fall down, you gotta pick yourself back up. Start all over again. Because it's worth it. It is. I've proved it to myself many a time. So yeah, the Schuman's at 48 today. Quite a bit higher than yesterday, actually. I think it was 14 yesterday. So yeah, it's just not a fun energy for me today. Not at all. But I just sit here and keep saying to myself, the positive energy flows through me with ease into Mother Earth so that she can mend and ascend. And that's how I deal with the energy. Right? My son's cats are still in heat. I hope they get over it soon. It seems like it's been too long. I don't know. I know it's hard on them too. Right? It's hard on my poor old ears listening to them growl. They get loud, right? They get really loud. But this is nature for you. My son, my eldest son, Justin, did a video or a picture on Facebook. And through the whited out clouds, the whited out sky, it's a picture of a rainbow behind it, behind the clouds. Right? I think it's one of the Pleiadian ships. Because I've seen a few. So, perfect, they want to be seen. But why behind the clouds? Just like on Mr. MBB there, 333. He did a video the other day where the sun was setting behind the clouds. It was just the way it was. It's just not right, right? And he was, not wondering why. He was wondering what it was, why it happens like this. But he always tries to find the logical 3D way, right? And that doesn't resonate with me. So, yeah. They say that there's supposed to be some military, the cards, and a couple of the truthers are saying that in the middle of July we should expect seeing military on the streets and shit like that, especially in the United States. So this is a good thing, remember? This is a good thing. They're not who you think they are. They're the good guys, okay? They're just trying to make you think you're going into civil war, and you're not. Because the dark can't manifest anything without you believing in it. Right? And if you've been watching me, you don't believe in it anymore. You see it for what it is. Right? You gotta remember, this is a time of enlightenment and raising the vibration. So all the bad stuff they say is happening. It's a smoke screen to bring down your vibration. Don't believe in it. Don't give it 2 fucks at all. Don't give 2 fucks about it at all. Right? Just love the people you're with. The ones that are kind to you, cause you no harm. Right? The 3 laws. Those are the only laws we gotta keep. Be good people, cause no harm, and tell no lies. How hard is it to do that? It's not hard at all. Unless you're of low character, right? You serve the dark, then it'd be really hard for you. But let's hope that's not you, right? Because good people don't lie. So there's no reason for it. My second son called me up last night. He was drinking a couple towns over, going to see the fireworks, and he said he came up with a thing. He's not going to lie anymore. He can see why it causes harm and blah, 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 right? And I was like, well, I'm glad you're finally getting it, Matt. I've been telling you this for a while, right? And he was, yeah, I don't like talking to people when they're drunk, when I'm sober. So I was like, okay, well, you're drinking and I'm going to say goodbye. I don't want to talk to you. Call me back if you really want to talk to me, call me when you're sober. Right? And he's like, why do you always do this? And I'm like, why do you always do this? Right? And he tried to gaslight me or whatever to get me to stay on talking to him. And I said, nope, nope, nope. I said, bye, baby, bye. Bye, baby, bye, bye. Click. And hung up, right? That's a lullaby my mother used to sing when we were little when she was putting us to sleep. So I thought it was a nice way to hang up on him, right? A scammer called today on my phone, right? And my youngest son was here. It was before he went to work with his sister. And I was like, oh, it's a scammer. Do you want to answer it? He was like, yeah, sure. So I give him my phone, right? So he answers the telephone as an old lady, an old lady's voice, right? And starts telling the person, the scammer, this. He didn't let them talk, right? He just started talking about, crap. Like, oh, my neighbor's dog's dead, and I'm not sure how to think about that. I guess because they must have said, how are you today? So he went into this big story, right, for about a couple minutes. And then he was like, well, okay. He's like, how the fuck can you, he changed it to his normal voice. How can you listen to this? right? He said it was a female, an Asian female, right? And he's like, I'd like to tell you I've recorded all the numbers that you've been calling on this phone, and I've reported them to the authorities. And if you keep this up, I'm going to hire somebody to harass you. Bye. And hung up, right? And he says, now that I know they're Asian, he says, next time I'm going to answer it again, Mom. He says, because I got some real nice stuff to say to them, right? He wants to mess with them. He's going to go to school to become a, what's he call it? Like a cyber cop for the internet, like hacker, or there's a guy on YouTube. What's he called? Something scammer payback or whatever, right? That's what he wants to do, right? Catch people who are doing shit like this on the web. So I thought, it was interesting. All right, why not? That's a hero, sticking up for the people that are being unjustly scammed, right? Not bad. So yeah, I hope this energy clears soon. Yesterday was such a good day. The energy was light, but today is back to the heaviness of it all. And I don't consent to it. I don't. Right? That's just weird. I don't like it. But such is the energies we're dealing from with the planets and whatever they're pumping out with the frequency, right? Gotta remember, CIA's got control of all this stuff. But I like to tell you that the FBI, the CIA have all been taken over too. Everything has, because if it wasn't, shit wouldn't be happening the way it is. Right? Yeah. There's so many things that you can point out. If you just open your eyes and see, you'll see the truth. It's not bad like they say it is at all. They just got people the sheeple, really scared. Right? In the cities and stuff, they're too scared to go out and walk down the street because of the news and everything, right? There's nothing to fear if you stand up for yourself. Unless you're a young girl and there's, some creeps out there. But get her some bear mace. Teach her how to spray them in the eyes. See, I was taught self-defense from the time I was 5. So yeah. All right. I hope I meet a like-minded person soon. I'm getting tired of holding this all in. If I didn't make these videos and talk to you all, I'd have nobody to tell this to. So thank you for being there and listening to me and watching my content. And for your comments when you make them, and your likes, your subscribes. I love you all as a consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. Bye.